Welcome back to my mental health and crime channel. My name is Huda London. This is all my thoughts, my speculations, and my opinions only. Today I'd like to go back to the case of the Idaho 4. Today I'd like to go back actually to Jack D and the statements he gave the police. The more I read it, the more red flags I'm starting to get actually. Let's start from the very beginning. This is my thoughts and opinions. Jack D is not guilty. I'm not saying that he's a suspect. But what I'm trying to say is, in my opinion, I find these interviews to be a walking red flag. Honestly. From finding red liquid drops in his house, although he shares it with other roommates. The fact that he got himself an attorney. His mother called him while he was in the interview with the police on the 15th of November, and then he refused to continue with the interview. He asked for his attorney, that's Jed Neal. Why would he start an interview if you can't finish it? Were the questions getting scary? Was he getting himself into some hot water? His fingers did not look right. I've been showing it, mentioning it from the beginning of this case, and nothing has changed. Seeing him at the crime scene was in fact worse. He looked like he was hiding something behind his back. And now it's got even more interesting. The report says the officer asked Jack D that what were you and Kaylee talking about from 2:26 in the morning for 17 minutes up to 2:42. And he said he couldn't remember the phone call. He couldn't recall it. He said it could be possible that I thought it was the alarm while I was sleeping and hit the button by mistake. So you hit a button, the call button or the answer button, actually the answer button, by mistake in your sleep, and you aim right? Doesn't make sense to me. Can you all believe that was his excuse? That he picked up the phone by mistake. He thought it was the alarm. I find that to be strange. Unless this is just a conspiracy theory. I've always said that what if Jack D was in the crime scene himself without the suspects? And what if he called from Kaylee and Maddie's phone to his phone to get an alibi? But then they would have known, I guess, the distance the phone would have been at. But then I was thinking about another thing. What if Jack D got someone who was doing the crimes to call from Kaylee's phone so that he could hear what was happening? Or my third possibility is, what if Jack D had nothing to do with it and somebody from the crime scene, one of the suspects, called Jack D so that he could hear poor Kaylee suffering? It has to be one of them, because it doesn't make sense. How would you be on the phone for 17 minutes and you can't remember? That is concerning behavior, because if he's having blackouts, the officer asked him and he said he hasn't had that ever. If he was having hallucinations and blackouts, he could have done these crimes without even knowing it. In my opinion, there are many people who sleepwalk and do crimes when their brain nerve state, like when they have a brain disorder basically, or serious mental health disorders. They go into a psychosis phase. So he can't remember the 17-minute call. Then we have the other red flag, which I think is one of the most important ones. Jack D's professor told the police that the professor was very concerned after Kaylee and Jack D broke up, Jack D was missing many lessons. Allegedly, I heard from another YouTube creator, so take this with a grain of salt, I don't know if it's the truth. The place he was referred to was actually the mental health team, or a place that he could get help so that he could get kind of guidance, get a mentor maybe, to get him back emotionally, physically, mentally, psychologically, with the emotional breakup he's going through. That's what I believe. And it just said that he was having mental health stress, basically, or whatever was going through his mind. Something was going through his mind for your own professor to be concerned and refer you to some kind of team. When the officer asked Jack D if he went to the team, he said no. So if he wasn't getting any help for his mental health, then I don't know what he was up to, because that is really concerning behavior. And the many people that are having this discussion if Kaylee and Jack D broke up 3 weeks before the unalivings or 3 months. It was actually 3 months. It's written on the reports. So you can imagine he must have been suffering for 3 months. And just my opinion, he did not look right even. His nails, the way he was dressing in his breakup period. Because when I look back and think of it, his TikTok had those pictures that look really concerning of him playing with the axe and such things. There's this other thought that I'm thinking about. What if Jack D was upset with whatever Maddie told Adam? And Kaylee tried to call him to calm him down. And he must have got really upset. She must have said some things he didn't want to hear, like, I've moved on, I'm not in love with you, something like that. What if he went and took matters into his own hands? The reason I say this is because it clearly shows